Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to my hobby blog. I'm excited today because the new Dune Messiah movie trailer came out, and I am a huge Dune fan, maybe even a super fan. I love the first four books, I would say. All of them I gave 9 out of 10 or higher. I've read the first Dune book about 3 or 4 times at this point, twice on audiobook and one time through the physical book. And I love Dune Messiah. I just did a review of that, so I'll make sure to link that below if you want to know my spoiler thoughts, and also my opinions on the changes on the Dune movies, part 2 specifically, because there was a lot of changes in that movie from the book that I didn't really particularly like. I think part 2 is a fantastic sci-fi movie, but in terms of a Dune adaptation, I didn't think it was that good. But we don't really get any high-budget sci-fi movies, so I was very happy with what we got in terms of visually and sort of the performances and just everything with that, the actual making of the movie. I thought it was all just really fantastic, but without further ado, let's go ahead and watch this. I have it on 4K. I want to watch it in the best quality possible. I have ad block on, so I'm not going to be interrupted. I'm very excited for this. We'll go through it like I usually do for trailer reactions. I'll watch it through, no pausing, and on the second way through, I'll kind of go, frame by frame, but it'll mostly be just, looking at details, trying to glean whatever information I can get from it. I haven't looked at anything with this movie, so I don't really know exactly what they're going to be doing in terms of like what kind of things they'll stick to with the book versus sort of anything that Denis is going to change, because there was a lot of changes in part 2 that I think it's going to be hard to follow up with for this movie, mostly with the character of Chani and also the character of Alia, who I know those two are casted in this movie, and I'm very excited for that, so let's begin. Go. Okay. I have the sound down low. If you want to watch this, go ahead and watch it.
If we have a girl, what will we name her?
Her name should be Ganima.
Ganima, okay.
She need to be strong, like her mother. What if it's a boy?
I would name him Leto.
Yeah, it seems pretty book accurate so far.
The wisdom of his grandfather.
War feeds on itself.
There's some things I really want to talk about, and I'm very excited to talk about it.
Fight. The more our enemies fight back.
Princess Irulan. Oh, is that Edric? My boy Edric.
Doing the best I can to protect my family.
I like the samurai look a lot. I think that's fantastic. Is that still a guy?
How did father do it?
Your father never started a war.
It does come out in December, okay. Wow, I love these sets. The music to this trailer is incredible. Holy shit. That's like an Isengard looking shot.
But I must not die. Yet.
Wow. Yep, star-studded cast. Okay, so week before Christmas. That's cool. Okay, my God. I have a lot of thoughts so far. We didn't really see too much that I am surprised by. There's a lot of sort of confirmations for me that we are going to be doing a mix between the Holy War, the Jihad, paired with the political aspects of Book 2, because Book 2 mostly takes place after the Jihad, and it's sort of just out of control at that point, and everyone's just sort of reacting to what's going on to the Jihad. So I'm very excited to see, just from these shots, that we're going to be getting a lot of battles, because that was one thing that I really thought that Frank Herbert would be doing in Book 2. And when I saw how short of a book it was like 300 pages at most, I was like, okay, it's going to be a lot more smaller scale. It's going to be a lot more interpersonal and a whole lot more political than Book 1, which Book 1's already very political, but there's a lot more going on along with the political aspects. So let's go sort of shot by shot. I think it's the period button that lets me go frame by frame. Yeah. So someone's drinking out the water. I assume that's Paul Atreides, Muad'Dib. There's really not much to be gleaned from that. Try not to skip too much. And then we have, a glorious shot. This is why I love the Dune movies, is for its cinematography and the settings and sort of just the vistas that we see. It's just so beautiful. I love the look of all this. We didn't really see any sandworms in this trailer. Did I see kind of a... No, that's just more of a mirage. Then there's Zendaya as Chani. Looks like she's back with Paul Atreides. That's good. And he doesn't look that much older, because I know in Dune Messiah, I think it's a 10 to 20 year time skip. And I'm very happy to see that they're going to not do that, a time skip. It looks like they're going to actually be bridging the time between Part 2 and then Part 3, Dune Messiah. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah, so we have a lot of really fun paragliding. I don't really know exactly what that is from the books, but it's visually distinctive, visually interesting, and he's just kind of flying around, coke's flapping in the wind. I like that. And then, is that Alia? Is that his daughter? Let's see. No, I guess this is... let me turn the subtitles on, actually. Yeah, so they're talking about the daughter Ghanima, who we get to know more about later in the series. It's not this book that we get to know her really that well. But he's saying that she would need to be strong like her mother. Chani's awesome. A much better character in the books than in the movies, in my opinion. But I do like the look of her. She's a very beautiful woman. For a second, I thought this was like a fetus, like a newborn baby, but it's obvious that it's more just a bag of something. Maybe it is a newborn. I don't know. Oh, it's someone wiping their sweaty head. That's probably Paul Atreides. Kind of going on about how bad everything's going to be getting, because the Jihad is a very violent time period. And they're talking about what if it's a boy, and then the name of Leto, which is great. It seems like they're sticking very closely with the books, but I thought that with Book 2, or not Book 2, but Part 2 as well. And I will say Part 1 is very accurate to the books. I love Part 1. It's probably one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time, because they actually stuck to it. And again, this is what I was talking about. It looks like they are going to be covering the Jihad, which is really nice, because that's something that I was very disappointed by when I was reading the book, is that we just kind of skip it. So we get to see some weapons, we get to see some exchanging of bags. I don't know exactly what's in that. Some jewelry. So that's cool. Maybe it's Leto's ring. It looks like it. Yeah, you can kind of see some lettering here. I can't see exactly what it is, but she's naming him after his grandfather, Paul's dad, in order to get him the wisdom. So that's cool. Some classic Fremen philosophy going on right there. And so loving in each other's eyes. That's nice to see. Because they were not that. She was scowling all of part 2. And it was very boring, in my opinion. I keep dragging on the second movie, I'm sorry. But it has to be said. Okay, we get it from director Denis Villeneuve. A classic shot. The big moon going over. This is the shot that I think gets me excited most, because it looks like we're going to be seeing Paul Atreides actually part of the Jihad, and we're going to see it boots on the ground, the Jihad. And he says like war feeds on itself, which is very true. That's something that he talks about a lot in the book, is sort of how much the war is just like proliferating, and there's nothing he can do as the Emperor to stop it. You can see a lot of dead bodies. The Fremen look evolved, which is very interesting, because that's kind of a major thing that happens throughout the entire series, is the slow evolution of the Fremen. And at this point of the story, they are at the top military-wise, and it's very interesting to see kind of the difference in costume. And we see a lot of chanting with these people. There's Lady Jessica, Paul's mother, a fantastic character. I love her in the movies. I think she's one of the best characters. And I just realized Alia is not the daughter of Paul, but the daughter of Jessica. So forgive me for that mistake. But it looks like they're chanting. I don't know who that is in the back. Doesn't look like still a guy. He looks too young. Some more war-torn shots of people under mud, people running at a ship, looks like. Yeah, and the ship is firing at people. So it looks like we're going to be getting some interplanetary war, which is great. I think Denis is going to film that very well. It's going to be really fun to watch. And also a little emotional. And I love that shot. Wow, look at that. It's nice to have the 4K on, because you get to see these really lovely colors and all that. And then there's a ship. It looks like, I don't know what sort of technology exactly, but it makes me think that it's like Ixian, who the Ixians are very important in this book, and they're awesome. So I'm really excited to see them. And he's saying the more I fight, the more I fight. I really love that setting, or that set. So the more I fight, the more our enemies fight back. Yeah, that's a very common thing in the books. People constantly want to get revenge on Paul Atreides and his family. Yeah, these are probably the Bene Gesserit. Goes without saying. There's Princess Irulan, who is a really fascinating character in Dune Messiah. So I'm very excited to see her role. I felt like she really did nothing in part 2. She just kind of sat there and looked pretty. I'm very excited for this right here. This is Edric. He's sort of like a fish person who just swims around in like this capsule full of water, and talks a lot about like prophecy and just really fun stuff. I don't want to go too into detail about that, but we see our boy, one of my favorite actors, Robert Pattinson, who I believe is playing Scytale, another just amazing character. I love Scytale. I'm very excited to see what he brings to this role, because Scytale is one of my favorite new characters in the Dune series, starting with book 2. I think he continues on in the series. I can't remember. But it is fun to see Robert Pattinson in a, white hair. It's not something I'm used to. And there's people floating to the ships. I don't know who these people are. I assume it's Fremen. Just going to skip. This might be faster if I just use my mouse. And then there's Alia, played by the amazing Anya Taylor-Joy, one of my favorite actresses. Very well, just one of the best actors ever. She's awesome. I really love this kind of samurai getup that they have here. I don't know who this is, but it makes me think that it's just going to be one of the many cultures that the Fremen end up going against during the jihad. I love that shot. I'm loving all of this, and that's still a guy. That definitely looks like still a guy. Played by Javier Bardem, and another amazing actor. If you've seen No Country for Old Men, you know him very well. But there's also another great movie called Beautiful that he did, where he speaks in his native tongue, Spanish, and he's amazing in that. It's a very powerful, sad story. He doesn't only just play like crazy people. Yeah, that's still a guy, my boy. I love him. And what a cool sort of uniform that these people have. It's very, very cool. I'm going to use my mouse because it's just a lot. How did father do it? And then she's saying your father never started a war. Very true. He never did. But I feel like she could have been a little bit more supportive. I really love this shot too. I don't know what is going on here, but that is such a great like trailer shot. That looks like Alia actually. So she must be doing... Oh yeah, so there's some scenes in the book in Dune Messiah where she was preaching to the Fremen, like common people, kind of telling them about... It's basically her giving propaganda about Muad'Dib and kind of making them think that like he has everything under control, and we see the Fremen here just kind of listening and getting everything they can. We see people running with probably a huge bomb. Looks like maybe some thermonuclears, some of the nukes that they had in part 2. I'm not sure. These are definitely Fremen, though. You can tell by the outfits. And this shot is really weird to me. It definitely looks like it's one of the Ixian ships. So yeah, I'm just really excited for Ix. Ix is one of my favorite planets in Dune, the series. So I'm very excited for that. Here's Alia looking badass. Going somewhere, I don't know exactly where. There's the one issue I have is that Denis is stopping with book 2. I love book 3, and I very much love book 4. A lot of people don't like book 4, understandable, but I think it's a very great kind of endpoint to the story of Paul Muad'Dib, even though he's not really in the book, but he is very much felt throughout that book, and it saddens me that we're not getting the entire Dune series. I hope another director comes in and goes for it. Here's Chani looking up at a spaceship, probably, as these kind of doors are opening, or I don't know. That looks like Alia is sitting on the throne, and we have some Bene Gesserit on the left, and we have people coming in to visit. I don't know what is going on in this shot. I don't really remember anything from here. My boy Duncan Idaho, aka Hate. That's his name in book 2 is Hate. He's resurrected. There's not a spoiler if it's in the trailer, in my opinion, but he definitely looks different. I love I love Duncan Idaho through all of the books. I think book 4 is my favorite book with Duncan Idaho. I've said that before in my reviews and all that, discussions with Colin. But yeah, Duncan Idaho is just one of my favorite characters. There's always something new that Frank Herbert is doing with his character, and just kind of continuing the kind of identity crisis that is going on, because he is resurrected, and this movie will surely go into the details of how he is resurrected, but I just love this character arc throughout all of the books, except books 5 and 6. I don't like those books really at all, but that's fine. But here's Muad'Dib fighting, it looks to be, yeah, okay, Duncan Idaho, Hate. So this might be the test that Paul is doing to kind of see if he is still kind of Duncan Idaho. Here's Princess Irulan. She's awesome. Again, in this book. I don't know how many times I can say that. But here's a few people. Oh, here's Scytale. Hell yeah. I love my guy Scytale. Probably my favorite new character, as I said. I'm kind of repeating myself at this point. There's not too much new stuff to talk about, but here's Chani. I love Chani. It's going to be interesting to get this movie and see people's reactions who haven't read the book. I'm going to assume that's a thermonuclear bomb going off. Oh, I know exactly what's going on, and I'm not going to talk about it because it's end book spoilers. But it's a very important event, so I'm excited for that. Here's Paul Muad'Dib going up the stairs, going to meet these probably 100,000 people. I love that shot. It's very Saruman looking at the Erikai. I love how it's kind of like just waves. Like, you can see the waves going through the crowd. It's so cool. I'm thinking this is probably before the jihad. I don't know. Before he sends everybody out to go genocide tens of billions of people. Because that's what happens in the books. At least before the books. In between book 1 and 2. And here's Paul looking very full on, very upset, not looking happy. Let's see what's going on here. People fighting in the desert of Arrakis. Someone has the tooth of Shai-Hulud. I assume that's Paul. And there's Chani. So they're probably talking about, like, the potential death of Muad'Dib, because that's sort of a question that's hanging over everyone's head, is, like, they feel like there's going to be an assassin coming soon to kill him. And so they're kind of just going on and on. I don't think there's really anything else in this trailer. Yeah, I know. But so I'll just leave it on here. I'm happy with the teaser. It just kind of confirmed a few things. It has me very interested in some things and how Denis is going to tackle the material in book 2, because book 2 is just such an awesome book. I didn't like it on the first read, but it really clicked together for me on my second read. And it was great to talk with my friend Colin about the book. Again, I'll link those discussions I've had with him. We've talked about books 1 and 2 at this point. I really want to at least get to book 4 before the movie comes out. I think that's very possible. We have 9 months I think 9 months exactly until this movie comes out. So I think that's very doable. But let me know what you think about this teaser. This is definitely going to be a huge highlight of the year for me, seeing Dune Part 3. And I'm very excited to see what people's reactions are to this book, or to this movie. Because this book I think this book is going to be, the adaptation of the book is going to be way different than the adaptation of parts 1 and 2. So I'm very excited to see kind of what decisions are made, storytelling-wise. I think the performances are going to continue to be awesome, but there's just so much that I am kind of wondering about, and I kind of went into it while I was talking about this, but thank you all so much for watching. Let me know again what you think of the trailer. If you read the book, kind of what are your expectations for this movie, and please have a great rest of the day. Thank you for watching.